All right, SmackDown Go Home show starts off with Team Rhea Ripley coming out. Rhea Ripley was the main one talking on the microphone. She basically mentions War Games, and then Team Liv comes out. They end up going back and forth. I like the beginning of this promo. The beginning of the promo was good, but once Nia Jax stopped talking, that's when it went downhill. Because then it just basically became Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley going back and forth. And I'm going to be honest, it kind of played out how you expect a Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley promo to play out. It wasn't that good, but it was good early on. Nia ends up because at first they was mentioning about how Team Liv are not together. They're not they don't have a good relationship and how it's not going to work in War Games. But then Nia ends up mentioning how the relationship between Damage Control and Bianca, Bayley, and Io's history and all that. And then Bayley responds back about Tiffany, about Nia, manipulating Tiffany Stratton, and then after War Games, she's not going to have any more friends. Then afterwards, it just became, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley going back and forth. Liv did bring up, the whole Jade incident, bringing up how it's convenient that Bayley is the one that replaced Jade Cargill, planting the seeds to see who's going to be the one turning in that group, in the the team of Team Rhea. Is it going to be Bayley, Bianca? Planted the seeds of who attacked Jade. But then afterwards, it just got it just got bad. It just got bad because Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley was just going back and forth, and it was just not good. It was just not a good back and forth. They both really wasn't making good comebacks, and it was just very awkward and very weird. Afterwards, they all brawl as we expected, and then security breaks them up. Very interested to see how this match plays out. I was hoping to see one of the teams stand tall because I wanted to make it easier to see who was going to be the one to win. But since no one stood tall, it's going to be very hard to it's very hard to predict who's going to win this match on tomorrow night. But I'm very interested to see how that match plays out. Afterwards, we end up getting Andrade versus Nakamura. Nakamura picks up the victory. Not going to really speak too much on it. After the match though, LA Knight then comes out, tries to attack Nakamura, but Nakamura ends up hitting him with the miss and then walks away. Building up their match for tomorrow, because I was very confused. Why did they have a match with Andrade versus Nakamura? But now, knowing that this is the reason why, it makes sense. I'm not going to speak too much on it. I will say this. I like the gimmick that they're giving Nakamura. I'm just not going to really have high hopes for this because I feel like I know how this is going to play out. I feel like this is going to play out kind of similar to last year when he faced Seth Rollins. I feel like it's going to play out the same way, so I'm not going to really get that hyped over this gimmick because I like the gimmick. I like the idea of it. I just don't see it going anywhere because I feel like I know where this is going, which is LA Knight beating him probably 2, maybe even 3 times and then moving on. But nonetheless, I am interested to see how they build this up. Afterwards, we end up getting DIY. They end up having a quick segment on the show. Tommaso Ciampa is still, frustrated with Johnny. He's confused about why Johnny isn't, turning to his side. Why is he on the side of his tag partner? Why is he being buddy? And he's just confused. And then he ends up saying that he's give Johnny Gargano 1 more week, or else he's doing things his way. So I'm very interested to see how they play this out. Hopefully, like I said, they're doing it to where Johnny turns with Tommaso Ciampa. They both are heels. Hopefully it's like a Candice LeRae and Hartwell situation because we don't need less tag teams. Even though the tag team division, I wouldn't say stacked because they have depth. Because one thing people misconstrued is that people think that the SmackDown division or Raw division on the tag teams don't have depth. They have enough teams. They just don't build those teams up consistently. You know what I'm saying? So since they don't build those teams consistently up, they need to keep all the teams that they have because they don't do that well of a job already with their tag division. They don't need to break up any teams. So hopefully this is just them both turning heel and then both, going after the tag titles because we don't need them to split. Especially because I don't think a DIY heel Tommaso, babyface Johnny will work right now. I think they need to get more over with the crowd first, and then you could recreate that whole NXT storyline. But right now, I think it's too soon. I think they need to win some gold first, continue to build up that reputation, continue to get momentum, and then eventually do the whole NXT angle. But right now, I think it's a bit too quickly. Now we end up getting a quick Kevin Owens segment. Not going to really speak too much on it. It was a quick little vignette. Basically, he ends up rehashing what he said on SmackDown last week, gave his reasoning, mentioning, fighting the bloodline first, And then he actually brought up a good point that I didn't even realize. He brought up 2023 Royal Rumble and mentioned how he got, attacked. Wait, was it the, yeah, it was the 2023 Royal Rumble. He mentioned how he got attacked, mentioned, how Roman and the Usos and all of them was attacking him when he was like tied up to the ropes. And he ends up mentioning how Cody Rhodes didn't come out to save him, which now that I think about it, it's very interesting because Cody Rhodes was there in the arena. He won that 2023 Royal Rumble. And if there was, I'm just saying, if Cody and KO was, friends or whatever, he should have came out and helped. He didn't help. Very interesting. Now, to be fair, they didn't really do the whole Cody Rhodes and KO friendship until Cody Rhodes moved to SmackDown, really. But that is an interesting point. Then he ends up rehashing, them teaming up at Bad Blood and all of that. This is really good. I can't wait to see how this match plays out. The build up towards the match should be great. Their first promo back and forth was amazing. One of the best promos of the year. Can't wait to see how they continue the story. I would not be mad if KO dethrones Cody. I know he won't dethrone Cody, unfortunately. But I would love for him to dethrone Cody. But I can't wait to see how that story plays out because they've been doing a really good job with this story. After this, though, we get the Roman Reigns and CM Punk face-to-face sit-down. And this segment cooked. This segment cooked, and this segment advanced so many stories. This was great. It starts off with CM Punk being late. Roman, of course, is frustrated. Then Roman's about to leave, but then Punk finally comes. Punk ends up saying that he's only here because of Paul Heyman, not because of Roman Reigns. Roman responds back, ends up saying that he doesn't like CM Punk, he doesn't need CM Punk, and he doesn't want to team up with CM Punk at War Games. Paul Heyman tries to be peacemaker between the two. He ends up saying, look, we need CM Punk because ever since, you lost at Mania, Solo basically been running things and Solo has been, basically beating us at basically been the one that's been checking them. Basically, he can't be stopped. Solo can't be stopped and we need all the help we can get, basically. Then he ends up telling Punk that if he doesn't help them at War Games, that he's going to be next on the list for Solo because Solo will come after him next because Punk is a threat to Solo. Then afterwards, Punk ends up replying back, ends up saying that he only wants revenge at Solo for what they did to Paul Heyman. And then he ends up saying that, look, if they survive War Games, that we could easily come back to this conversation, just him and Roman, which already planting the seeds for the future of when they eventually will have their feud, which is most likely going to be sometime next year, maybe next year SummerSlam, next year Survivor Series or Royal Rumble, sometime around there probably. Then Punks ends up mentioning, before that, they end up saying that this is a one-time thing. They both agree that this is a one-time thing, the one time that they're going to team up. Then Punk ends up mentioning a favor. Roman was confused. He was like, do I owe you a favor? Punk said no, but he ends up saying that our wise man, the key word was saying our wise man, is going to owe me a favor, which was very interesting. Then he ends up leaving. Roman asks what's the favor, but Paul Heyman doesn't answer, and he ends up saying that, look, just focus on War Games. This is very interesting. This tells so many stories because we don't know what the favor is. A lot of people speculate it could be a title shot, which I don't think would make sense because he's not the champion. Now, you could say Punk can help him win the title. I don't think it's going to be that. A lot of people are saying that it's going to be Paul Heyman turning on Roman, joining CM Punk, which could be very interesting. This is very interesting. This sets up so many layers. I can't wait to see how the match at War Games play out. They really built this up perfectly. And I can't wait to see eventually whenever they feud, which is going to be a while. It's going to be a while till they feud, okay? This is like a year and a half, 2 years in the making. This is not happening anytime soon. But this was a really good way to build up War Games tomorrow, man. I'm very excited. This was really great. All the seeds that have been planted in this one segment was really good. I really love what they did. After this, we end up getting Piper, Lash, and Michin. This is the first round of the qualifying for the women's U.S. title. This match was really good. It was really good. Lash Legend had a really good performance. She ends up replacing Jade Cargill. Thank God, because some people were saying Charlotte Flair was going to be the one to replace Jade Cargill. Thank God it was not Charlotte. She ended up having a really good performance. She picked up Piper Niven like 4 times in the match. They constantly let her just demolish Piper Niven whenever she's having a match with her. But Michin picked up the victory. This is great. Right now, the bracket is playing out perfectly. The bracket is playing out perfectly. Let's hope they continue this. Let's hope they continue to show Chelsea and Michin to keep on advancing, because that's what we need. That's what we need. Chelsea and Michin in the finals. Let's hope it plays out that way. Let's hope, or we just need at least one of them in the finals. Bare minimum. Bare minimum one. So right now they're doing the right thing. Let's just hope next week, when the next week matches, Chelsea or Michin advance, or hopefully both. Let's hope they continue this, and hopefully one of them wins that U.S. title. Hopefully plays out the way. But right now they're doing a good job with this U.S. title tournament. Then we get the main event. Jey Uso versus Jacob Fatu. Winner get their team get the advantage in War Games. Jacob Fatu picks up the victory. I'm not gonna speak too much on the match. It was I feel like it was obvious that Team New Bloodline was gonna get the advantage, build them up, build them up as a credible threat, them having the advantage. It only makes sense. Overall, decent episode of SmackDown. Can't wait to see what happens tomorrow, War Games. Be on the lookout for my War Games review tomorrow. But you guys, let me know your opinions down below. Let me know what your opinions on the build. Let me know what your opinions of Survivorship. Let me know how you guys feel about it. But leave your opinions down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. But yeah, that's it.